Hello everyone. So today we are going to solve a problem from Code Forces round 823 div 2. The problem is named as minimum notation. So let's go through the problem statement first. It says that you have a string s that consists of digits from 0 to 9 inclusive. So it can contain any digit from 0, 1, 2, 3 till 9. You can perform the following operation any number of times. So the operation is that we can choose any position I, and then we can delete the digit that is present in that particular position. So let's say if I have a number 1 2 3 4 5, so I can choose this position I, right, and then I can delete this 3, and what I have to do is then I have to insert the digit that is minimum of d plus 1 comma 9, that is 3 plus 1 comma 9, whichever is minimum among this. We have to insert that digit on any other position, right? It could be at the beginning, it could be at the end, or in between any two adjacent digits. So let's say if we have 1 2 3 4 5, we can remove 4, and we are supposed to add minimum of 4 plus 1 comma 9. So let's say if I add it at the end, so it becomes 1 2 3 5, it becomes 1 2 3 5 5, right? So this operation you are allowed to do. Now the question says that what you need to do is uh, you need to find the lexicographically smallest string that you can get after performing all these operations. By lexicographically smaller, the way we compare it is, let's say if I have 1 2 3 4 5, and if I have 5 4 3 2 1, so I look at the first position, so we can clearly see that 5 is greater than 1. So that means this string is lexicographically greater than this particular string, right? So that's what they have stated, that in the first position where a and b differ, right, like they differ in this position itself, the string a has smaller digit than the corresponding digit in b. So if this is string a and this is string b, so string a is lexicographically smaller than b, right? So now let's think about the approach to solve this problem. So we'll first look at a test case that will help us to understand. So 0 4 8 to 9 is the first test case, and the answer to that is 0 2 5 9 9. So let's see how can we reach that particular answer. So the basic idea behind the problem is that, just try to think it this way, that we in this particular number have 5 digits, right? So to make it a smallest particular number, right, to make the string the lexicographically smallest string, what we need to do is, whichever is the smallest digit, right, whichever is the smallest digit, we would always want that digit to be at the maximum significant position, right, that is to be on the left hand side. So like in this case 0 is the smallest digit, so we would always want 0 to be on the extreme left hand side. For example, instead of this, if we had uh, let's say 5 1 2 3 4, so we would try our best that this 1 is present on the left hand side. So like we would want 1 to be the first digit, and then rest of 5 2 3 and 4 to appear. We would never want this 1 to be in the second position. So therefore one thing is very clear, that whichever is going to be the smallest number, if there are digits before this, right, if let's say 1 is the smallest number, and if there are digits before this, we would always want to shift them towards the end. Like in this case, if I take this example 0 4 8 to 9, so smallest number 0 is already present at the right place. So then we need to think about this part. So here you can see the smallest is 2, right, the smallest is 2. So then what we are trying to do is, we are trying to keep 2 here itself, right, and trying to shift the other numbers after this. So right, we have 4 and 8 before 2. 0 we would never shift, because 0 is the best position for 0. 4 and 8 we would definitely like to shift. So let's say we try to shift 4 and 8, so we have to replace 4 and 8 with, 4 has to be replaced with 5, that is 5 comma 9 का जो minimum आएगा वो, right, and 8 has to be replaced with minimum of 9 comma 9, which is 9 itself. So 8 has to be replaced with 9, 4 has to be replaced with 5. So now we need to search the best position. So we are sure about one thing, that we are going to shift it after 2, right? So it could either be shifted at the end or at this position. So I think 9 is the greatest number. So for a number to be for a number like 5, it would definitely like to be in this position. So therefore we take this 4 and change it to 5 and shift it to this position. So this becomes 0 to 5, and 9 also, for 9 also we do the same. So 9, if we shift here or we shift here, doesn't make a difference, because both are the same positions, because 9 is already present here, right? So therefore we get 02599 as our output, right? For example, let's take this really uh, big example, the last one, which is 31475227691991. So here also see, the smallest number in this whole string is 1. So this is 1, this is 1, and this is also 1. So we would definitely want कि यार 1 1 1 पहले आ जाए and उसके बाद बाकी सब कुछ है, right? So therefore what we do is, ये 1 के अलावा जो भी है वो try to shift them यहाँ पे at the end, जहाँ पे 1 ख़त्म होती है उसके बाद, right? तो हमें पता है कि अगर हम 9 को शिफ्ट करेंगे तो 9 9 ही रह जाएगा, 9 को 9 9 9 ही रह जाएगा, 6 will become 7, 7 becomes 8, this 7 also becomes 8, this 2 becomes 3, this 2 also becomes 3, 5 becomes 6, 7 becomes 8, and 4 becomes 5, and 3 becomes 4. So now can you tell me that how do I place them at the end in the right order? How do I do that? Pretty simple. Just sort it, right? If I sort these, so like 3 will be the first one to be placed, right? So 3 will come after this, so it would be 1 1 1, then 3 would come, then another 3 would come, then we have 2 4s, so those 2 4s would come, then a 5 would come, then the 6 would come, then 8 would come, we have 3 8s, and then 9 and 9 would come. How many 9s do you have? We have 3 9s. So probably this matches with the output given. Okay, they have only 1 4. And how did I get? Okay, this is also 9. I'm sorry, this is also 9. So we have 3 9s. So this is going to be the answer, right? Yeah, this matches. Yeah, the 7 we forgot to write. This 7 we forgot to write. So here we will also have a 7. So this is therefore the answer. So what we are getting is that whichever number we have, right? Like let's take an arbitrary example, 2315022, right? So if this is the example, so the smallest is 0, so we would definitely want 0 to be on the extreme left hand side, and then we would change all of these numbers to minimum of digit plus 1 comma 9, and then sort the whole string and print it. Pretty simple, right? So the implementation we'll talk about now. So let's say if we had this, so we would start from the extreme right of the string, right? And we would take a variable called minimum. So let's take int mini equal to 9, right? Okay, not int, we'll take char. So let's take char mini equal to 9, right? And then we will start from the extreme right hand side, and if we find that s of I is less than equal to mini, then what we will do is simply update mini with s of I. And if this doesn't happen, this is the if part, right? This is the if part. And if this doesn't happen, the else part is that we simply replace that particular number, that is we change s of I to minimum of s of I plus 1, like char of this, you have to write char of this, right, comma 9. So simply